Okay, so last Raider here, folks, and saw this on Twitter. Decided I had to, check it out for myself. IGN, which some of you that don't know is a gaming news outlet. They're supposed to do like reviews and crap. They've been losing support after the whole GamerGate controversy, which was uh, gaming journals handing out. We're doing positive reviews for sexual favors, if you know what I mean. But they decided to review a series that I love personally, and that is the Rambo series. I have always loved the Rambo series. In my mind, my dad has always loved Rambo. He has loved Sylvester Stallone in almost any movie that Sylvester Stallone has been in. He loves him as an actor. He's and My dad has always been of the mind. Has always, when I was a kid, I was like, "Hey, Dad, do you know that they had this action flick with Jason Statham in it?" Dad's like, "Let me introduce you to Sylvester Stallone, okay? Let me introduce you to Rambo, okay, son." So anyway, let's get into this. I'm going to read through this little review they got, and I'm probably going to put this up there on with the hashtag Rambo movie thing because this, in my opinion, Sylvester Stallone needs to see the reviews of actual fans. All right. It says here, Rambo Last Blood review. Sylvester Stallone's action sequel is gory, offensive, and shallow. This should be fun. You're a soy boy, mind you. Okay. The arc of John Rambo first began in 1982 with Ted Chekhov's bloody action film First Blood. Yeah, and it was awesome. If you haven't seen it, you need to go watch it. Has been an unusual one, to say the least. Rambo, sensitively portrayed by Sylvester Stallone, was initially presented as an emotionally wounded ex-soldier who had been deeply stained and hollowed out by the violence he experienced in the Vietnam War. Yeah, that was the First Blood. In fact, First Blood, I believe, I don't think anyone would disagree. First Blood, Rambo was actually the bad guy. He was almost like a Mike Myers kind of character. But he was more, unlike a movie monster, he was relatable. Okay, this guy had all kinds of problems, and he was basically going through a mental episode. What they fail to mention here is when they're talking about him eviscerating, because right here it says when Rambo first ripped out his hunting knife and began eviscerating small town sheriffs, it was meant to be seen as the final tragic crack in the soul of a broken man. What this idiot doesn't mention here, they probably got this off Wikipedia. What they don't mention is in the movie, the sheriff's department actually abused him a bit because he is a Vietnam vet. It wasn't just what these soldiers had gone through. It was also what these soldiers were going through at home. I believe they cleaned off Rambo with a fire hose, and then they walked up to him with a razor blade, and he had a flashback, freaked out, took out almost every single sheriff's department. Takes out a helicopter with a dadgum rock. Okay, if you don't think that's badass, you tell me how many action heroes nowadays. The Rock could not take out a helicopter with a rock. Okay, but Rambo would pick up Dwayne Johnson and use him to take out a dadgum helicopter. That's how badass Sylvester Stallone was in those movies. But going on here, audiences, however, and perhaps bafflingly, latched onto the film's exhilarating violence and to Rambo's soldierly efficiency more than to his tragedy, leading to First Blood subsequent sequels to transform the titular trauma sufferer into a tragedy-free, unstoppable, all-American, badass killing machine and pop culture's central symbol for unchallenged American military might. Yes, and the reason being was he was relatable. Okay, when you have a tragic character, they are relatable. When they look at the two from Full Metal Alchemist is probably one of the most popular animes that are out there. The two characters are tragic characters. You take it's just any kind of real character that's out there. They have some kind of tragedy. Take John McClane. John McClane, when we meet him, he's the average guy. He was relatable. I mean, people have gone through trauma. You go through some kind of traumatic experience in your life or hard times, and it feels like the world's against you. Yeah, Rambo goes nuts. You're kind of like, hey, yeah, I could see that. I could see somebody going nuts if you mistreat him. That's what they didn't tell anyone. Like, Rambo, all he wanted to do that day on the first movie, the only thing Rambo wanted to do was eat a dadgum sandwich in a diner. Because he was a Vietnam vet, they mistreated him because he was a veteran. And people loved it because the average American don't care. They're super patriotic and love soldiers. Okay? We admire our soldiers because they make a sacrifice for our country. And the thing about First Blood was it kind of was supposed to, it was somewhat in the face of Hollywood was kind of really anti-soldier and anti-war. But when they put out First Blood, kind of this is pointing out a lot of regular people looked at it and said, yeah, that's a soldier, man. You should have treated him better. You should have given him a root beer and a sandwich, and that would have been it. I mean, you wouldn't have had all those problems. Some of these sheriffs wouldn't have died. Oh, man. You wouldn't have had to send the National Guard and all that good stuff. Anyway, continuing. A character who was originally meant to stand as a symbol for the damage that war can do to a soldier is now best remembered as an unkillable human machine gun. And it was awesome. The end. Check out the movie. It is great. That's how this article should end. But it doesn't. We've got a soy boy just losing his mind right here. The newest, and God, I hate it when these people do this. They go look in a dictionary and they get the most obscure word they can find. Really, man. It doesn't make you seem smart at all. I bet you can't even pronounce that dadgum word. We'll say obscenely final. Film in the series, Adrian Guttenberg's Rambo Last Blood, brings the series full circle by giving us a taste of both Rambos. At the film's onset, John Rambo Stallone once more, yes, because let me tell you something, the biggest mistake they made to 007 was not recasting Sean Connery. We did not do this with Rambo. Just saying. Is living on a ranch, riding horses, and holding a palpable familial relationships with his teenage niece and would-be love interest. Let's see, his teenage niece Yvette Monreal and his would-be love interest Adrian Bazara from The Strain. I'll have to look that movie up. I haven't seen it yet. Rambo, it seems, might have actually found inner peace at last. Yeah, that don't look like he's doing inner peace right now. Rambo's doing his little inner peace moment right there. I love this scene. Man's on a mission. He is on a mission. We're going to deal with the problem. I can't wait for this movie. Although perhaps not. He has also personally dug a labyrinth of weapon-lined death tunnels under his Arizona property, which will most certainly be used in an ultraviolet late-film climax wherein Rambo will murder several dozen people in increasingly gory ways. You know what? If I was Rambo and I had killed and taken on... Let's see, who is Rambo taking on? Let's see, he's taken on the National Guard and Sheriff's Departments in a state whose sheriff's department in the movie were pretty dang corrupt. One of them just lost it and just was trying to kill Rambo, which is why he took out a helicopter with a freaking rock. He just gets mad and starts shooting. Freaking air conditioner just decided to come on. Anywho, let me kill that for a second as we go on with this. Anywho, let's see, who else? He's pissed off the Viet Cong. He's pissed off a couple of rogue military guys in Cambodia, I think. He's attacked the Russian army, for God's sake. There's probably plenty of people looking for Rambo. He's probably got these tunnels dug. If he hasn't dug them already, he probably has these tunnels dug so that he can continue a fight because someone's going to send like a hit team after him or something. He just knows someone's coming after him. That's Rambo. The level of gore in this film is absurdly intense. Taking after the 2008 film, the makers of Last Blood have elected to turn Rambo's battlefield antics into something resembling a slasher movie, or perhaps an early Peter Jackson joint, and I bet it will be awesome. It would just be awesome. I'm going to love this movie. By the time the filmmakers hasten to the eyeball-melting action at their film's climax, one can feel their sigh of relief in finally being able to depict outright decapitation, severed feet, exploding heads, and at least one makeshift vivisection. Yeah, and I wonder who he's going to be tearing apart. I mean, I bet they're going to be. I bet it's going to be like poor women and children trying to get across the border. No, it's not. We know who it is. It's going to be some bad guy, probably the cartel. From the looks of the movie, it's going to be the cartel. I figure he's going to take them on. Some kind of MS-13 looking group. They talk about it being cartoonish. If you've ever seen MS-13, they look dadgum cartoonish. But they're not in no way. They will actually kill you. I mean, they're someone to actually, you should, despite the fact they look cartoonish, they actually take the cartoonishness to a little bit too far of a point. But anyway, we can watch the gore. Ooh. We can watch it in that little trailer they got up there. We'll try that here in a minute. If the idea of Rambo laying waste to several tons of human meat sounds exhilarating, know that your eventual laughter will likely be of the bitter, incredulous variety. Why would it be bitter? That's what's throwing me off right here is bitter. Why would it be bitter? I would actually enjoy watching the movie like that. Sounds like escapism. It sounds like a fun action flick where a good family man who's had a rough life, someone wrongs him and tries to do something to his family, and so he takes off and he makes them pay. I mean, who doesn't like the good guy winning over the bad guy? Soy boys. The violence is over the top in a way that isn't fun. Last Blood feels like the work of a disaffected adolescent pulling the wings off a fly. Not if it's something that's trying to kill you, though. I mean, you're acting like he's going to kill women and children just trying to find a better life in the United States. I bet there's going to be a scene where Rambo just sees him walk across like, good luck, you guys. He's going to walk off or something. And who are these people? Okay, here we go. And who are these people Rambo's murdering? Are they immigrants? Are they gays and lesbians? Let's see. The impetus. Okay, we'll say the antagonist for the film's action comes from a plot that closely resembles Taken in both its setup and its older dad action fantasy and its cultural insensitivity. Hold on a minute. Taken, in my personal opinion, is based off of Rambo 2. Because the character that Liam Neeson plays, yeah, he's going after a family member, but he knows what his daughter is about to go through. And he knows where he's at. He's helpless to do anything about it. Rambo in Rambo 2, or First Blood 2, First Blood Part 2, Part 3, and Rambo. Need some water. In those three movies after First Blood, Rambo is going in there is going somewhere else. He's globe hopping to save soldiers who's gone through what he's been through. In First Blood Part 3, he goes to save his commanding officer because he's going through the torture that Rambo went through. Rambo knows what he's going through. In Rambo, the missionaries are captured, so he joins up with the mercenaries because he knows what those people are going through. And it's Rambo's man, I'm coughing a lot. It's Rambo's sensitivity to what the horrors of what these people are going through and his urge to prevent it from happening to anyone else. It's one of the reasons why in First Blood Part 2 at the very end, he almost eviscerates the guy that sent him in the first place and tells him you'll find all of them, every last one of them, and you won't leave any of them behind. It was them saying, we got to go get these POWs out. And Rambo went in, they left him there. He got the POW, got him out, and they left him there. The helicopter pulls up, they look, they're like, okay, we've been told to come back. They up and leave. Man, allergies. So, F it. Taken is based off of Rambo 2. Changed my mind. Anyway, when the Monreal character goes to Mexico to find her estranged father, she is almost instantly kidnapped and sold into sexual slavery by two cartoonishly evil Mexican crime lords. And there it is! There it is! We have Mexican crime lords. Yes, crime guys, mafia. People that in their own country, they would call them scum. We're not talking about Mexicans, we're talking about scum of Mexico. Or where the average farmer, the tequila farmers out there would turn around and look at these guys and say, you're an SOB. We want you out of our country. Go over there. If an American kills you crossing the border, good riddance, because you're evil. You're a stain on our Mexican society. It's bad that Rambo is killing these guys because they don't care about the actions done by the characters. They care about their nationality more than this. It's so stupid. Who revel in the filth, who revel in filth the same way you or I might revel in a warm blanket or a warm bath. Why did I say blanket? It is then up to Rambo to attempt to rescue her, hence running afoul of said crime lords being a hastily escalating rivalry. Rivalry? I don't think it's a rivalry. What is Rambo going to have a bigger sex cult than they are? Is he going to sell drugs better than they do? I think he's just going to fricking kill him. I think that's all that's going to happen. Paz Vega has a small role as a deliverer of a exposition. I don't know why that's in there. Filmmakers have made Mexico seem like an infinite wasteland of crime and death, and most of the Latinx? Just say Latin. What is wrong with you? Or Hispanic? Damn. Most of the Hispanic characters on screen are criminals or broad stereotypes. Well, I don't know about the broad stereotypes because there is a place for stereotypes in movies. However, for you sitting there saying they've made Mexico seem like an infinite wasteland of crime and death, why in the heck are people jumping our border fence right now? Okay, they keep, every one of them says we're coming here to escape. We're fearing for our lives and fleeing death and destruction in our own country. Why are they jumping? Why are they coming over here? If it's not like that, I don't understand. I understand that Rambo films have rarely been bastions of cultural togetherness, but in 2019, these broad stereotypes are offensive and dated and downright irresponsible. What do you want Rambo to do? Okay, you want Rambo to go over there, help the cartel get their marijuana across the border, and then sing Kumbaya around a dadgum campfire? The only blood and gore we're going to have is him eviscerating border agents, probably. That's the stupidity of this person. You're a gaming website. You're not even supposed to be making this about. You're not even really supposed to be reviewing movies. But I mean, what are you going to do when IGN has lost most of their viewer base? I'm only here because someone sent this to me. That's why I'm over. I'm here to eviscerate your little article. To Stallone's credit, he managed to give as soulful a performance as the part warrants. Because he's Sylvester Stallone. He's a damn good actor. The early scenes allow the 73-year-old actor to give Rambo a distant glimmer of humanity lurking underneath all the surface-level combat trauma. No, Rambo has always been a fairly human character. Okay? He's had tragedy in his life, but I mean, he feels, when he sees that someone else is suffering through it, you would expect, I mean, here's the thing. If you saw a woman, if a woman had been raped and she survived it, and she looked down an alleyway and she saw another woman fixing to be raped, do you think she would not do something? Do you think she would not run up and backstab the dude? Do you think she wouldn't shoot the guy in the back to save the other woman, to prevent her from going through the trauma? It's a very human trait. This wanting to protect people from going through what you've gone through. Wanting to rescue a person knowing what they're fixing to go through. Rambo is a very human character. It's just Hollywood, they goofed. And they actually made a good character that showed the strength and might of America. You know, the perseverance of the American spirit, which is something that Rambo has. And they hate Rambo's character for that. They hate it because, one, with the current actions that's going on in Hollywood, they don't like any strong male characters. But for the second part of, Rambo shows that you can be a very powerful, capable, almost pro-American kind of character to some extent, but still be a relatable human being. Rambo is a very complex character if you stop and you look at it. Like I said, his big stint is that he has the skills to prevent people from going through what he's going to go through, and Rambo is going to do it no matter what. All the blood, gore, and action, that's just part of the deal, but that's one of the reasons why people like him as a character so much. I'm getting off track here. Let's just keep going. He's also appropriately menacing, which he should be. I was convinced that John Rambo, even in his 70s, could reach into my neck with his bare hands and handily remove my collarbone should the urge strike him. Well, if you slap his niece's butt, I bet that's going to happen. We're going to see that happen to a group of guys that we're going to see what happens when Uncle Rambo, who is, the Vietnam vet that has all the killing capability, finds out someone slapped his niece's butt. Going to remove that hand. He's going to cut somebody's hand off for touching his niece. I just guarantee it. At a trim 98 minutes, Last Blood will certainly not leave you waiting. If you were here for the violence and badassery, you'll get to it before you finish your extra large Dr. Pepper. All right. If you've come for thoughtfulness, tragedy, character, wit, and a political statement on the effects of war, in short, if you've come for anything that was in the original First Blood, then perhaps you'll find solace in a different theater, or just at home, a safe distance away from First Blood, or from Last Blood. Let me explain something about this. I guarantee you, there's going to be thoughtfulness in preparation and a political statement on self-reliance. We're going to see plenty of Rambo's wit inside of those tunnels with whatever booby traps he's going to put forth. In terms of character, we're going to see an old man doing everything he can to save something that he cherishes. This bit of humanity that he has in his niece. He's going to do whatever it takes to save it. As far as tragedy, we're going to see tragedy in whatever this young girl has to go through before Sylvester Stallone gets to her, okay? IGN is a bunch of wimps. In my opinion, we've got more. I'm not even going to read that nonsense. Here's what I'm going to say. You see this guy right here? You need to go see this, because I guarantee this movie is going to be insane. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be apolitical. You're going to be able to go to it and say, finally, you're going to be able to spend, 89 minutes, I think is what they said about how long the movie was. You're going to have 89 minutes where you're not going to be thinking about all the stupid politics and nonsense that's going on in the world. And in my opinion, that is a wonderful gift to humanity. So Sylvester Stallone, thank you for making this movie number one, Sly. Love you for doing it. Can't wait to see the Rambo movie in theaters. I am probably definitely going to take my wife to it, because my birthday is this weekend, September 20th. And I am going to see this movie. I'm probably going to tell my wife, this is what I want to do for my birthday. I want to see Rambo Last Blood. It's the last Rambo movie I'm going to watch it on. I'm going to watch it on my birthday. Anyway, if it's out of my birthday by then. If not, I'll watch it later on if it comes out. Anyway, I am The Last Raider. This looks like a good movie. If you guys like this, like, subscribe, and comment on what you think about on this new movie coming out, Sylvester Stallone. Tell me if you think it's awesome, if you like it, if you don't like it. That helps out the channel. And as always, stay safe, folks. And I'll see y'all next time.